Hey guys, so we are live. I enjoyed so much giving you guys blessing today that I felt like we should just have a chat and do some cards. And we have Elena who is messaging me because we want her to join in too, but she's having problems connecting. So she says she's going to watch. And I just want to make sure that you guys can hear us. So I'm going to click this on. We want her to join in too, but yes, you can. Okay. So we thought we would just hang out and do some cards and chat about random things. And so if you guys want to hang out and chat with us, you are more than welcome. With me is one of my friends, David. And David, you want to introduce yourself? David's cool.
Hey, my name is Dave, and I'm sensitive. My main thing is healing. I teach a class called Psychic Essentials, and yeah, I do channel.
You have a YouTube channel, yeah?
I have a YouTube channel called Lancelot of Camelot, and check it out. I do some channeling videos on there.
Yeah, and we'll get you guys hooked up. We'll have David make sure to get links for you guys because you just started it, right? So
Yeah,
like this is awesome.
I only have 2 videos, so.
Boom. But you have a really cool one about the Anunnaki.
True.
So if you guys are interested about Anunnaki stuff, check it out. And you're also setting up a website or like a Facebook thing so people can contact you, yes?
Yes, and I'll put the link in the description after the video.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. So I don't know if anybody is here. Otherwise, we will just chat. We really want Elena to come in. So there's 2 watching, which could be me and Elena right now. So we lost our 4 originally. So okay, let's start by doing some light language blessings. So do you want me to go first, David, or you want to go first?
Sure, you can go first if you want.
Okay. Nushutu tayo ko no lujia tu ura ayo zunia tataya guli ina zizgo tatiata dunu jugo o juja ya za dunu duluja ana zugo janayata hulija ana ya zo ono tiato tiato o kono soto taya la sina mozia la shutu natayoto mokola atia shana hanasi kupushuhu junati kuloboya jana tasiata kurasiata. Namaste.
Okay. Breathe in the light that is within you. Allow it to flow through you and penetrate. Allow the light to shine above you and below you so that it covers you in all directions. May you be bright as you can every day of your life.
That's awesome.
Cool.
That's awesome.
Okay. Droho anna shawea, ashunda nahwe, ashanda bau, eveo na siwa, shada na hasawu, eshunda bena, eayaka aush, drabranak anna shaute, brahachiwanas, ashuganai anasau, veo nahai ashunda naya, abashunda. Daranas Ewa. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. That was so cool.
That was me at the end. Bye-bye.
That's awesome. Elena said she was going to give Ryan the link too.
Okay, cool.
So I told her to give him the link, the Hangout link, if you wanted to hop in and hang out. And like, if this is just a disaster, we can always delete it too. So I have done that before. In fact, the video that I was just telling you about where it was so cool because everybody was just really open to receiving the information.
Yeah.
We talked about a lot of government stuff, and I just felt like the video should be deleted. And so I did delete it. So I have deleted live videos before, so it's all
okay.
It's all good.
We'll see what happens with it, and if it works out, then it works out. If not, then we can just get rid of it.
Yeah, there you go. See? I'm glad. So there's four watching right now. So if anybody out there has any questions, let David or I know. I usually do a lot of cards. I do have a team that talks to me, but like David's a lot better at channeling than I am, and so he might not use cards, but he will still get answers. So, right?
Yeah, right? I do cards actually, but I just never do them because you're the card queen. You're the queen of cards.
I'm the queen of hearts.
But I do channeling, and I can read people's DNA codes as well. So that's kind of something that appeals to people from time to time. So I can see where their origins are genetically, and also what star races they may be connected to as well.
Yeah, which is super awesome. And there's also you're putting together a sliding scale of information, right, that you're working on, and so percentages of things. So
Yes.
eventually, when that's all together, you will be able to explain how well they're doing in certain aspects of their own awakening in terms of percentages, which actually helps a lot.
Sure. Yes, definitely. I agree completely.
Okay.
Yes, the vibrational consciousness scale I'll come out with eventually.
Yeah.
But until
wasn't even given
then,
a
we can
name.
just talk about it someday. If anyone has any questions on it.
I don't know how many people are. There's 4. Ryan is here. I just gave the link out, so other people can join in too. We'll just see where this goes. Otherwise, I can pull a card and we could like talk on the card too, if you wanted to, David.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do
Okay. Okay.
What's your intention for the card?
The intention is, what should we talk about? That's a good intention, right?
Okay.
Okay. Oh, we got another yellow card. We got a yellow card last time too. So this is the card. And this is from a Mayan deck. So we're going to look this up for you guys. Have you ever done live stuff before, David?
No, this is my first time.
Oh, that's so exciting. Well, welcome. I'm glad that you... Hey, Heather's here. And there's other people. Yay. So, hey, guys, we just pulled a card, and because we were going to see what we were going to talk about, unless you guys have questions. If you have, like, questions that you want answered, like oracle cards or just really random questions, things to talk about, let us know, because this is just a random chat. Hey, Joni. This is just a random chat. So, and this is David's first like live hangout, and David's really awesome, and he's got his own YouTube channel, and we're gonna like hook you guys all up. Yeah, you can definitely ask a question, Joni. David, do you have the YouTube chat up by chance?
No.
If you want to bring it up, and then you can just mute the thing, and then you can see what whatever it's talking about. Yeah, so ask your question, Joni.
Sorry. Can you send me the link, please?
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. Let me send the link, please. Okay. Here's the link.
Okay.
And so we're not sure how long we're going to do this. We just thought we would see what you guys are doing and if you guys want to chat. So Joni asks, what will my future partner be like, and when shall they potentially come about? Have you ever gotten questions like this, David?
I haven't done this kind of psychic reading before. My psychic readings are usually a bit different.
Okay, well, let me go grab the romance deck, and we'll see what comes out, okay?
Sounds good.
Yeah. Okay, Ryan's got a question for you, David.
Oh, Mr. Kleppy. Hello. What language was I speaking when I first joined in? Also, what was I saying? When I speak the language, I don't always get a light language translation. But I believe it was Lyran language. What do you think, Temple?
Yes, it probably was a Lyran language. There's something that you do that when you speak that language, which is weird, because a lot of times when we speak like blessings, like in OOLA, we finish each other's, or we add on to each other's blessings. Mm-hmm. But there's one thing that you do that I didn't know was Lyran, but maybe it is because you're good at like rolling it.
Oh, Thank you.
So it's like the bruja, and I don't know if that is Lyran, or it definitely
Yeah,
could be. It kind of
that
sounds like it.
definitely is. And Bushunda also
Bushunda.
means something as well.
I think you're just really good at rolling those R's and like pronouncing it really well. Where like if I would do it, it'd be like Brushunda. Like you know what I mean? Like you wouldn't. It would be the same thing, but like I'm just not as eloquent there. Okay, so Joni says, "Oh, okay." So let me pull another card for you, because the first one is telling me why you're not able to, why your future partner has not come to you yet. So let me see if we can get anything about what your future partner will be like. Who is the statue in your room? Oh, this guy. That guy. That's
Mr.
Beethoven. That's okay. Joni, this is good. Okay, so is there a person who has actually stirred your romantic feelings? Like, is there somebody that you're currently interested in right now, or that you kind of have an eye on? Because if that's the case, if it says, according to this, let me just hold this up for you. Oh, look, there's a knight. There's a knight in there, David. That's cool. So
I'm looking at the YouTube picture, so I'm a bit delayed.
Oh, that's okay.
A new person has stirred your romantic feeling. Oh.
Okay, so here's the problem, Joni. Right now there are some addictions affecting your romantic life, and those are personal. So once you can take care of those, this new love is like just waiting, but those have to be taken care of first. Does that help at all?
I have some love tips.
Love.
Are you ready? Are you guys ready?
We're ready. Yeah.
Okay, so here's my love tip. From the guy who's not dating anybody right now. That's okay. So if you want to find someone to be in a relationship, you will find that person. You will definitely find somebody. But the person that you find will be someone who will definitely teach you a lesson in your life. And you it might not be the best relationship. It might be very fiery and passionate and then end quickly. It might be a little bit longer. And these relationships, you always learn things from. And these are people that you've met in your past lives. But it's the moment when after you heal yourself and you do the work internally, you meditate, you start to find out who you are and what you love, and you start to fix your issues like social cues that are triggered by emotion. Like if someone says you're fat, for example, and you get offended, then this has to do with your self-confidence. So it's something that you have to work on. Once you do the work and you find someone that you're not looking for, that person will be a reflection of you and all the hard work that you've done in your life. So that's my little love tip.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's so true. That before like the real person that completes you can come into your life, you have to work on yourself. And so it just seems like you're almost there, but there's a few things holding you back, whether they're self-beliefs about yourself or like codependency, addictions, meaning that if you feel, and I don't know if this is actually what's happening with you, but this is kind of what the card had said. Like if you feel like you have to have something in your life, whether it's a relationship, like you can't survive without a relationship, or like some people are have addictions and codependency and like things like smoking, or like they have to do it, otherwise they don't feel complete. And so the goal here is to try and feel complete or work on yourself so you're complete within yourself, to not have to worry about having something else in order to feel complete. So I think that's what's going on, and exactly what David had said. So she says, do you think that they don't have a good intentions for me, though? I've been told they're a narcissist. Okay, so after Joni is going to be Alyssa. So get your question ready, Alyssa.
I have a question for you, Joni. Do you feel they're a narcissist? Are they super selfish? Use your own judgment. What do you think? Like, you're a free-minded individual and you can judge that for yourself, but just be careful because narcissists are excellent manipulators and they're great liars. So be mindful of that as well.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna just write down the list so far as what we have. We have Alyssa. I can type. So we have Alyssa, and then we have Red Moon, and then Lightning.
Thanks, Ray.
Okay, so that's the list we have, and then you asked about if he was a narcissist, and David kind of answered that, and I got the same thing, kind of that David was telling you, where keep an open mind. Just because what people are telling you isn't always necessarily true. Like, you need to feel it within yourself. If you're feeling like there's a red flag, then heed that warning. Mm-hmm. The problem with narcissists is sometimes you don't, especially like with light workers and really gifted beings, it's easy to trap you in narcissistic relationships. So if you have any qualms about this guy whatsoever, I would say just stay away, because once you fix those addictions or the whatever the word was, I can't think of what the word was, coming through, then you won't have to worry about attracting a narcissist, because it wouldn't be in your vibration to attract one. So hopefully that helps a bit. I know it's the situation is really, really confusing, and maybe what you need to do, Joni, is to I don't know if it's like snowing where you are, but just go outside and like ground yourself, or sit and do some meditation and clear your mind, and then have a question and see what comes to you, because that'll help too. Also, drink lots of water and talk to your water. So okay, so Alyssa, you would like just a general reading. All right, isn't this fun, David?
Pretty fun. I'm just thinking of all this love advice.
I know.
I have something else to add, actually.
And what?
I have something else to add on that.
Okay, go ahead.
So a lot of times light workers think that they can heal people, and they're also attracted to people who need healing.
Good advice.
But they should know that people that need healing are attracted to them. So you're like a light bulb and they're like a moth. And the moth is always attracted to a bright light, and it doesn't know why, but it knows it's comfortable and it's soothing, so it's attracted to it. So they'll come to you when they need healing. So that's something to keep in mind, because you'll really want to heal them if you're like a healer or a light worker, which is a really generic term. And you have to keep in mind that people don't change that much, and you are not responsible for changing them 100%. You can just say, you know what? People don't change that much, and I'm not going to invest my whole life into trying to get someone to be something that they don't want to be.
Perfect. So there's a little conversation going on here where Joni says, by the way, David, you're really good looking. And then Ryan says, and he's single.
Oh, God.
David is super fun, too. So, all right. So, Alyssa. So, Alyssa just wants a general one. So, I'm going to pull from the Mayan deck, and we'll see. We'll see what happens here. Except my cards are flying all over.
That's good.
That is good. And tonight we're purple light free, so that's good. Purple or blue light free.
Yeah, I remember that.
All right, so Alyssa, what can we do for Alyssa? We can also give you light language blessings too. If you guys want individual light language blessings, we can do that for you. Sure. All right, so Alyssa, this is the card that you got. It is, I know it's like reversed on your screen, but it's CIB. So let's look it up. Right? I have a book here somewhere. Oh, it's right here. 232, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that number is 7, and that's a really good number too. So you should look up the number 7. 232. I always think of 7 as like kind of as a divine number. 232.
I find it when it comes in sequence, it's divine for me. But like I usually experience like 1, 2, 2, 7. Like that's usually a number that comes up for me a lot.
10, 11, 12.
Which is 3, right?
Which is 3, yeah. Yeah, I love numerology. Okay, so Alyssa, this is what we got for you. The pronunciation of this Mayan deck card is called Keb, K-E-E-B, Keeb. It's probably Keeb. And the qualities are trust, grace, inner voice of knowing, galactic conduit, mystic reception, divine communication, golden pillar, cosmic conscious, ferryman staff, and interdimensional guide and intuition. So I'm guessing just from what I read that are you like, do you speak light language? Are you interested in like the galactic brothers and sisters around, stuff like that? Let's just read. I'm going to read a little bit of this for you and we can see if it resonates. So this Keb is a galactic guide and a mystic ferryman on the return path to the stars. Allow Keb's staff to ferry you into the spiraling vortex of cosmic consciousness. Keb is the grace of the descent of the descent of the dove. Embody the mystic gift of trust in direct guidance. Through trust, you journey to a place of no time and limitless light. There you will undergo the transformations to embody solar heart and mind. Keb is a conduit for cosmic communication, offering access to the universal web of consciousness. This is the web of the Mayan mystic spider that weaves intergalactic threads. The conduit of interconnected consciousness, Keb, is like a spider in the web, the grid connection for divine communication. Receive these ripples from knowing from Keb's web through the central axis into your spine of your staff. Accept this gift of knowing in grace as you would receive the morning light by turning your face to the sun. Grace is an unexpected touch, a blessing given in love, a natural gift of the universe. Use the power of love like an electrical current to serve the light. Open fully to feel it and receive it. So do you channel, or are you in the process of learning to channel, Alyssa? I should roll down the comments so we can keep up with them.
Yeah.
She said, I just went through an ordeal just to know. So I just want to know what's ahead. Okay, let's see. Oh, okay. So she actually did have a question. She actually did have a question. All right. So I don't know, does that ring a bell for you at all? And then I will pull another card for your other question because that's not really answering your question. But I'm guessing from that card though that you will be or are working to channel. So I don't know if that's something that has been brought into your viewpoint yet. But don't you think, David, that was really talking about like pillars and becoming a channel? And
that card was a little bit far out for me. I felt. Was
it really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I didn't feel the Maya connection. Like for me, just didn't resonate the message so much for me.
That's crazy because I was thinking as I was reading it, I was thinking there are no galactic decks cards in this deck that I know of, and that like we pulled the one galactic card. But okay, let me get she says no, but I just received my first tarot deck and I read them for the first time last night. Okay, so I can tell you this, Alyssa, from that card that you are a very bright being. You're super hooked up. You just have to remember how to use it, and in no time you're going to be reading cards and having your guides come through and listening to them and probably doing some channeling as well.
Okay, I have a little tip for her.
Okay.
Don't open your third eye too early. Like, don't be one of those people that goes, oh my God, I have to open up my third eye. And you watch this video that had to open your third eye in 7 minutes or less. And then you open up your third eye and you're dealing with all this negative shit in your life. Because if you do that, then you're going to be what you see, if you're clairvoyant especially, if that's your primary ability, then you're going to be seeing some negative shit possibly. So before you open your third eye, I recommend definitely doing some self-work. or at least getting yourself out of a really negative environment and creating like a space that's comforting and comfortable. Before you do that, because when I was young, or it was only 2 years ago when I woke up.
When I was young.
Yeah, I was going to say when I was young, but I felt so young. I opened up my third eye really naively, and I was like, "Oh my god, I just want to do telekinesis." You know, that was what I wanted so bad. And I found out
That's funny. That's what I wanted too, David.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome. And so I opened up my third eye, and then I started seeing these shadow beings walking around at nighttime right before bed. And I didn't know what shadow beings were. I didn't know it was because my third eye wasn't clear enough to actually see figures in better shape and color. And I freaked out. I was like, fuck this shit. This is crazy. So I looked up, the next video I looked up was how to close the third eye.
Yeah, and I know people too who if it gets open too much, they will close it back up because you have to be able to like integrate and process before more of the eye can open. So all right, I was gonna pull another card for you because that was totally not what you want to know, but now you know that anyway. So all right. Oh, here's one. It fell. Okay. So Zepkiel in anticipation, and that's funny because that fell out twice actually. So let's read that one. Here's a card. It's got glyphs and glyphs language. I'm not really sure. Coded. I would probably say it's like coded written light language.
Yeah, it looks like light language.
Yeah. And so let's see let's see what Zepkiel.
That's an angel.
Yes, yes. That's probably good because I would have totally not thought about explaining that. Yeah. I don't know much about him, actually, David. Do you?
No, I haven't heard of him, actually, but I know he's an angel because he has IEL at the end of his name.
Yeah. All right. And this book is really annoying to try and find your angels. So Alyssa says, I understand I won't. I'm not ready for the third eye. I was a little hesitant to do the tarot. Bye. Well, but I'm glad you were pleased. And, you know, there's so many cards like I'm going to totally date myself. But when I was growing up, you pretty much had like tarot decks for a while. And then, you know, Doreen Virtue came along and then there was like other types of decks to choose from. So you have so many different decks to choose from these days that don't have to feel like you have to go directly to tarot. Like I only have one actual like tarot deck that has worked for me, and I've gone through several tarot decks. And believe it or not, ironically, the only one that works for me is a Nefertari. David, this is funny. The only deck that works for me is a Nefertari deck.
This is the one that I have. It's like a really generic.
That's Rider-Waite. That's like the one that everybody refers to.
Yeah. So you were saying the Nefertari one is the only one that really works?
Which is kind of ironic, right? Okay, here we go. Zepkiel, the sacred lover. Oh, wow. Okay, here we go. Anticipations are the realization that occur before the future happenings, rich with the presence of the infinite. Anticipations are pregnant with premonitions and intuitions. Anticipations accompany the law of attraction. Anticipations are glorious rockets of desire, enhancing the creation of the law of manifestation. Anticipations opaque the crudity of the expectations, and they never fixate on the outcome. Anticipations live in the existence of the now, heralding the greatest anticipation of all, our journey home to pure spirit and to the elusive consciousness of source. In that meantime, Zepkiel heartfelt substance is to remind you of your connection and all that is good, loving, and pure in your mission here on earth. Also suggests that you upgrade your connection with the divine by embodying the virtues of the heart, meditating, praying, chanting messages of love and light. He wishes you to shimmer with the possibility of anticipation and requests that you chant. This is really funny. This looks like Lyran, actually. I can't read that. I'm not going to even try. One of the most powerful mantras that has existed for thousands of years. So, unfortunately, they don't want to give you any information really about your financial, other than They're pretty much saying, you know, by anticipate, whatever you anticipate is going to happen because you're throwing it out there. So if you had some financial issues, just try to believe in the good or feel good, or when you look into the future, think the things that you actually want, not maybe what's in front of you if you're dealing with specific financial stuff. That's that.
And Temple's really good with financial stuff, so you should listen to her advice because she's pretty keen.
I am very good with financial stuff. Thank you, David. That was very sweet of you.
Yes, no problem. It's true. So tarot cards are not the devil. You don't summon demons. You don't talk to Halel, Archangel Halel, or any crap like that shit. It's just you're communicating with your guides, which is your higher. Well, there's your guides, and then there's your higher self. And sometimes there's angels and guardians and other beings, sometimes extraterrestrial, that follow you around depending on your genetics and how old your soul is and things like that. So it's never worry that you're going to be doing demonic stuff unless you're making like pentagrams on the floor and you're playing with Ouija or what's that called?
We can't even pronounce it. Ouija.
Ouija. Yeah, because you don't know what you're bringing in if you do that. Don't do that.
Okay, so I'm making a list here for you guys. Red Moon is next, so if you want to give us your question. Oh wow, we have a big lineup here. I'm gonna have to write them down on like old-fashioned paper. Okay, so that's what I have. So Red Moon is next, and then Lightning, and then Heather, then Arwen. Okay, so here we go. Apparently, it looks like I'm not sure what's going on. Heather's laughing at me. Okay, so the question, David, is my crush and his cousin share an account in Skype. Okay, I'm just visualizing this. My crush and his cousin. Okay. I sent a text confessing my love to my crush, saying it was for him. The cousin read it and said he would make sure my crush reads it. I don't know if he has read it, so I would like to know if he will communicate with me this month or how he feels towards me. Okay.
Why don't you just ask him? That's the easiest way to find out.
That's a good question.
It's good to be. I understand that different places in the world have communication differently. Some girls are more forward in some provinces and states, and some are more reserved. So respecting that. But I think all guys, for the most part, would appreciate someone that's honest with them and just upfront. Don't be worried that he's going to play a little game with you and use that you like him against you, because that would just be manipulation and you don't want to be with that person anyway. That's my little take on that.
So she says that he doesn't get online often and he's in another city. Okay, so Heather says that I crack her up, old school pencil and paper. Well, I try my best here as we live in the Stone Age and I attempt to work on this new thing we call a computer these days. So let's see what happens. I don't know. Like sometimes we'll see. Let me just ask my team if that's like something I can just answer real quick. So the question is, will he communicate with me this month? And how does he feel towards me? Okay, I asked, will he communicate with you this month? And I heard a big no. And how does he feel about me? How does he feel towards me? I don't know, David. Do you want to check my answers?
Sure, I can depend on that.
Yeah. So whether or not he'll communicate with her this month, I heard no. Okay, how does he feel about her?
I get no as well.
You got no as well? Okay, so
he's probably going to be with family stuff, I imagine, and especially if the relationship is just at the very beginning. Of course, it's natural that he would choose family over someone that he may like, he may not like, or might not know that he likes.
Yeah, I'm getting that he might not know that he likes, because I feel like I don't even know if he actually got that message, because when my team said no, it was almost like they kept talking about he didn't really even get the message, or either didn't get the message clearly, or the message was somehow not delivered as you meant it. Whether that means it wasn't delivered at all to him, like the cousin didn't deliver to him, or that the cousin spoke to him and then he hasn't really even looked at the message to see what, you know how you play telephone type of thing. So that's kind of what I got. And then as far as the other one was, how does he feel towards me? So I got, stay optimistic about your love life. And I'm getting the idea that he doesn't really know if he doesn't really know yet. Like, there's a possibility that it could be a really great thing, but he doesn't know. And so, especially if he hasn't even gotten that email, he wouldn't know to like think about you differently or to look at you differently. Does that make sense? So the only thing at this point you can do is to think positive. This does talk about, look at that. This does talk about positive thinking to bring you your romance. And then Red Moon says he does have a few problems. And we kind of talked about this in the beginning, but like David and I were saying that a lot of times when people have individual problems, it's really hard to get together, especially if they're big problems. It's hard to get together in a relationship. Wouldn't you agree, David? Because that person really has to work on themselves first. So you have to really just trust your gut with it. You know, I don't really think he got the message. And he's going to have to work out his problems first because that's just the way it is. Because in the end, that's the way it's going to have to be, regardless what path you take with him.
Yeah, from my experience, if you meet someone when they're not happy, then they're going to carry that into their relationship, and eventually they'll blame you for their unhappiness. But in truth, everybody's responsible for their own happiness.
Yeah. Yeah.
So be happy before you're in a relationship, because getting in a relationship won't make you happy. Right.
Exactly. So think positive, and either, I don't know, like, it's weird that him and his cousin share the same thing. Like, this, if there's a different way for you to contact him, like, I've already thought about writing an old school, here we go again, like old school letter, pen and paper, and then sending it to my twin to like make sure he gets it. And I know like people don't do that anymore, but that's something I would do. You know,
but that's kind of romantic these days.
Right? Oh, it is kind of romantic. Yeah. Yeah. And then if you write in one of those like fancy like calligraphy pens, that's like even more romantic, right?
That might be over the top, but
right. Although people who hang out with me would totally expect it. They would be like, oh yeah, she's gonna go
because
over
they know you, yeah.
Right, yeah, totally.
But not like a first like, hi, I don't really know you, but I have a crush on you kind of.
Yeah. That would be really scary. So don't do what I just said. If you're gonna write it in a normal Bic pen. Well, maybe you can get a nicer pen than a Bic pen.
And maybe even line paper.
Oh, line paper would be good, yes. Okay, so I have a little bit of light language for you. Their family doesn't allow him to have social media, so they use so he uses like, so this is a whole bunch of issues. This is just this has a whole bunch of issues. So I'm gonna give you a little bit of a light language blessing that will hopefully give clarity on the situation for you. I think that's probably what I'm getting. So this is for you, Red Moon, because I know this is a difficult situation and you're gonna need it. So Tushuku totaio non totaio kulo totaio totiata nakata tu anashiata tuaya kua biashutu su nukuaya ti kulia shono tayo huasha kahiana ti kusuno tuaya sanaki tatiana la tuyateata kuasiata siena hatia suola shitia bulu unsiata mamia kuluashiata. Namaste.
Okay, I only got a little bit from that, but it sounded like almost like, okay, I'll just say it. It slipped my mind as I'm thinking. It has some, okay, I'll just give the gist. It has something to do with trusting those around you first. And before you expand outwards, it's important to trust who is near you, is what I'm getting. But that wasn't the full message, I know.
Yeah, that's really interesting, though, because if you think about it, there would have to be a trust between those two, the two who are sharing the account as well, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, yeah, I can understand that. All right, Heather. Heather, you're next, sweetie. So what do you think about this so far, David? Is this interesting or?
It's interesting for sure. It's a new experience.
Okay. I know, Heather, I thought I saw something that you said a while back, but I'm open for any guidance regarding finances. What is the lesson that is needing to be acknowledged? Okay.
Lightning Bolt said, you skipped me.
I did?
Let's see.
I did. I'm sorry. Okay, we're gonna do lightning next. I'm sorry, Heather. We'll get you next. Okay, go ahead, lightning. Sorry, my bad.
It's funny we have sky blue and lightning. Lightning Bolt.
Didn't we just learn about like the lightning symbol? That because I just watched the webinar today, and it was something about, I was cleaning at the time, so, but it was something about like Prometheus was and Will were talking about like the lightning symbol, and it's a really powerful symbol for.
It's called Raku.
Thank you.
It's a Reiki symbol.
Okay, I don't know much about it.
It's apparently like an instant transmission of energy that takes place immediately in Reiki. So rather than like giving someone Reiki and healing, and having it expressed over like 3-day period to integrate, it's just like bam, all at once, kind of more miracle-y.
Interesting. I like that word, miracle-y. It's a cute word. I like it.
I just made that up, maybe.
Yeah, that's a good word. That's a new word now. Okay, so yeah, Heather says Tibetan Reiki symbol, I think. Okay, his initials. So Lightning Bolt says, what will happen if I contact MM, which are his initials? Is it a good idea? Thanks. We're getting a lot of love. Yeah. Isn't that crazy, David? We're getting a lot of love questions tonight.
Is M&M Marshall Mathers?
What? I don't think that's going to be his initial. I don't think that's going to be his name.
Because
Marshall.
If you have a celebrity crush, you know, sometimes it gets you back.
I am not the girl to be knowing celebrity names, unless we're talking like Brad Pitt, because I'm kind of old school like that. So that's funny. Now his name came up twice. Oh, it's not a love question. Okay, that's good. What will happen if I contact MM? Is this a good idea? David, you might need your pendulum for this one.
Okay. Is that a good idea? Okay. What will happen is
I'll do the what will happen, and then you do the is this a good idea?
Okay.
All right.
Slim Shady, yeah. Is it a good idea? Yes. I get a yes.
You get a yes? Okay. Okay, so what will happen if she contacts MM? Ooh, we got the Ahu. I know we've had the Ahu before. It looks like contacting, doesn't it? Like his little mouth's open, like he's speaking.
It looks like a little robot.
It does look like a robot, yeah. Ahu. Where is it? Oh, 119. Oh, that's funny. You were just kind of talking about the 1-1. So 9, 10, 11. That's the magical number. So 11, it's a magical number. Yeah, 119. 3 is my magical number.
Yeah, I love 3s as well.
And 6s and 9s, but I guess that's to stand to reason, though.
I think that's half the numbers already. And 2s and 4s and 6s and 7s and 8s.
You made me laugh, and I totally lost my concentration. Okay, no, I got it. It's back.
That's
okay.
number 11.
A how. Okay, so here I'm gonna hold it up, so you guys can check it out. Oops, there we go. He's really shiny. A how. So Lord, ruler, flower. Oh, qualities: union, wholeness, unconditional love, solar mastery, cosmic conscious, languages of light, ecstasy, limitless bliss. Sounds like
pretty awesome.
Yeah, if you contact whoever this person is, it's going to be really enlightening and grounding and just like a really fun.
Yes,
yeah, it'll be good
as well.
Definitely.
And the gold represents divinity and enlightenment usually.
Yeah.
So
Limiting definitions of self and the divine, loving unconditionally with no expectations and no judgments. So this is all good things. Like if you contact that person, this is like good stuff. There, we tag teamed it, David.
Yeah, high five for that. Sorry, I was on the other screen.
Oh no, I knocked the Ramses ring off. All right, so Heather is next. So Heather wants a general reading, and maybe possibly about finances.
Heather. Okay.
General reading. I don't know. I feel like this is a brand new deck, Heather, Keepers of Light deck. I haven't really had a chance to use this one a lot. Oh wait, is this the right one? Yeah, but I don't know. I feel like this is a good one.
How are you managing the live video feed and the YouTube chat at the same time?
How are we managing the live video feed?
That's my question. How are you doing it?
So I have the Google Hangouts window open, and then I have it moved over to the side because I also have the YouTube chat window open, like the streaming live.
Right.
And so I just mute the streaming live, and then I have it set up side by side so I can see the questions that are coming in, but I'm still looking at you through the Google Hangout.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Yeah.
Makes perfect sense.
Okay, so we got 2 cards for you, Heather. The first card, I don't know if this is going to answer your financial question, but this might. This is really funny because after I pulled these cards, I was getting this whole explanation in my head, of course, of how this all works together. But then you know how like on Wendy's channel, we talk in depth about stuff and like timelines and like all this stuff. So I'm getting this in-depth description about your question, but it may be really confusing to the others listening. So let's just start with the first portion of a general reading. So we got Gaia.
Nice. Always a good card.
Yep. Earth connection. Be mindful of the planet. Come back to Earth. Stay grounded. So let's just look her up and see if they have any other info. Here it is. Gaia is Mother Earth. She is the keeper of the light who holds the planet in her hands and heart. Her kiss is on every animal's forehead. She is the life that moves through the planet, the sweetness within the honey, and the force that encourages the bees to fly. She loves and protects and guides all beings. She is asking us to love them too. How can we help them? How can we help the planet? So it says, if you're blessed to receive the Great Mother card today, it's because it shows that the earth itself, through the image of Gaia, is protecting your path. You are a strong, focused, and loving individual. Stay grounded and don't allow your imagination, ego, or fears to run away with you. Ensure your choices that are for the highest good. Gaia is also bringing you her motherly love and encircling you in a cocoon of peace. If you have had troubles with a mother in your life or are feeling disconnected from or grieving Gaia will help revitalize that connection and will bring healing where it is possible. If you are a mother and are worrying about these duties, know that Gaia is thanking you for your hard work and commitment. The earth is blessed to have you. So I think, as far as the financial thing goes, that, I mean, there's a lot more there than just the financial thing, but that it's all good and she's looking after you and protecting you. Do you have anything to add to that, David? I have another card.
I have some tips on grounding.
Yeah, should we do this other card first, and then you want to talk about grounding?
Sure.
Okay. So this was the other card that came through, and I know it's reversed. His name, to be honest. Dwal Kulo, the Dharma unfolding. Remember that you are on a path. Take one step at a time to happiness. Do you want to talk about grounding while I look this up?
Sure. So a lot of people talk about grounding, but not a lot of people know that the different types of grounding. So first, I'd like to talk about physical grounding. So when you're walking outside, take your shoes off if it's nice and warm. Put your feet on the actual dirt or gravel or mud, or if you want to make mud pies, you can stick them in there as long as you're not using like pie plates or in the grass. You can grab a tree for like 20 or 15 seconds. And just while you're grounding yourself, make sure you set the intention to release all the EMF and EMR, which is electromagnetic radiation, and all the Wi-Fi and all that crap. Just let that leave your body, and the plant will accept it. So don't worry about that. So Mother Nature wants to do that. Guy wants to help you with that. And the other thing is psychic grounding, sensitive grounding, I guess you can call it too. Yeah. The way you do that is by using visualization techniques. And I imagine like a light tentacle going down from my root chakra, which is at the base of my spine. And it goes down and it wraps around a giant red crystal. Then the crystal shoots down into the core of the earth, and I pull up on it to make sure that it doesn't come loose. And then I feel the energy of the earth go back up into my chakras. So that grounds me. So when you connect with the earth this way, this creates a protective field around you. And then you just have to program this field to create protective barrier if you're into that. So that's my little thing on grounding.
That's awesome. I actually did that today, David. I went outside barefoot and I did a little grounding and a little cleansing thing. And actually I felt amazing all day.
That's amazing. I usually do grounding when I go for night walks. I usually go walk my dog, look at the stars, and grab a tree right before bed, because you'll sleep a lot better if you do that.
To hug a tree before bed. I like that. I used to be like more outdoorsy than I am now. And I kind of miss that, but I used to actually like physically hug a lot of trees. It's a thing.
I just grab like 2 different branches on the tree, because like when your neighbor sees you and you're hugging a tree, it's like, oh, there's that guy again. I just had this
vision of like you in an igloo. David doesn't live in an igloo, by the way, but he does live in like colder weather. But there's like a tree by your igloo, and you're like grabbing the tree, and your igloo neighbor is like, it was adorable. Okay, so this other one right here says, oh, I guess it's pronounced Dwa Hul. Known as the Tibetan, it's a Tibetan Buddhist master. He is said to have had as many incarnations, including a devotee of Buddha himself, and is one of the 3 wise men who honor baby Jesus. Through his earthly experiences, he has learned the importance of spiritual practice and discipline, and knows that the paths we are on unfold over time. He is now helping lightworkers follow their dharma, which is a Sanskrit word meaning right way of living. When he appears in a reading, he reminds you that your path is unfolding as it should. So take one step at a time and remember that your only spiritual function is to be happy. You are a powerful person with many lessons under your belt and a real capacity to share your wisdom with the world. Take the time to go over what you have learned recently, recognize the strengths it has brought you, and acknowledge that there have been that you have been courageous. He is now working with your angels and guides to help your journey unfold like a beautiful lotus flower, one petal at a time.
I think that was a beautiful card.
That's really beautiful. And I think that's really wise wisdom for everybody for what's going on right now. In fact, I did this last night myself, where I took a look back over the year and just I read journal entries, and I kind of went through and realized that I've really learned a lot. I've really been through a lot. I've learned a lot. And I really need to pat myself in the back. And I think everybody should do this because we're getting to the end of the year. So like, do your yearly review, you know, give yourself the credit that you deserve. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And celebrate with revels.
Celebrate with what?
With revels.
Revels? What's a revel?
It's like a medieval celebration. Beers and fun.
So is it like the music and the food and the...
Yes, of course, with bards and all of this gloriousness.
Okay. Where's Sky Blue? Like, I'm trying to keep track of it. But see, that's why a pen and paper is what I should really have in front of me.
Let's do... Ryan was coming up soon as well, I think.
Okay, so I have Sky Blue, and then Arwen and Karisha. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong, and then Ryan. So Ryan, I gave you the link. You should just join us. Okay, so Sky Blue, I'm sorry I forgot you. Maybe we'll get back on track. So, all right, go ahead. Oh, Arwen. Okay, see, I did screw up. All right, Arwen. I know I saw your comment back here a while ago. All right, David, this might be something for you. She says, I want to ask about romance, but I'm getting a nudge that it's not the time for that. I'm torn between asking for a general reading, life purpose, or something along the lines of galactic origin. If that's something you do, maybe I'll let you feel out what you want to answer. Do you get any pulls there?
Usually when I do the galactic origin thing, I connect with the person visually so I can have a deeper connection. The thing is, when you guys send us a message and it's like really vague, your name is like really vague, like Black Star or something like that, and your message is like, tell me everything about my life, and that's the only message that we get. First of all, when you send that message, if you have an intent to just find out, is this stuff real or whatever, you're not really sending your intention and your energies in that message that you want, of things that you want to receive. So it's more like a validation thing for you. If you send a message that is a little bit longer, that I can connect to the energy of the intention of that message, and I can connect to your energy. That's if I'm like focused on looking at the chat. So this is how I read energies. Now, what about you, Temple?
So I read energies a lot of ways. I'm very good at like, just even if they write something small, I'm able to pick up the energies. It might not be so like, I don't think I would be able to tell the galactic origins. I actually have to see you in order to do that. I mean, I do have a deck here that I'll pull one card, and it's a galactic heritage deck. But again, this doesn't encompass all of them. It would be like impossible to do that. But I am quite good at just getting the energy from either the little picture or what I'm reading. And especially if I'm doing cards, it's a little bit easier than trying to connect, to have my guides like tell me information or try to connect that way. Like the way you connect, David, I can understand why that's a little bit more difficult than like me pulling a card. Because all the energy then goes into pulling the card, where like you have to know a bit more, like have a bit more to attach onto that, because you have to like actually work stuff through. Everybody's got to get together upstairs and like work stuff through.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. So, okay. All right, so I'm going to pull I'm gonna pull a galactic origin card for you, and I'll explain the card. These are really complicated cards, but at least we can get you. So like we want to know what the kind of the main galactic origin is for Arwen to tap into right now, because you know you're gonna have a lot. You're a mix up of like a lot of different galactic beings, but we just want kind of the highest percentage, don't you think, David? Highest percentage maybe right now, and see what comes out. All right. So, oh my gosh, and this deck is so massive. I keep knocking over Ramsey's ring. I should probably be wearing it. Okay. All right. This actually popped out twice. So, so they're not going to give you they're not giving me like a galactic origin, but they are saying that you were here in the Lemurian era and the past for Earth. So there's that. And I mean, we can go more into that. Otherwise, I can just do like a general thing for you too.
I'm getting a really calm energy from
Arwen?
Yeah, from Arwen.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just connecting more to the energies, you know. But Lemurian is, like we were talking about that before, Telos and Lemur.
Yeah.
And these are usually traits of an old soul. If you had an incarnation in Lemuria, usually an old soul as well.
Mm-hmm. And not that this doesn't. I have these stories. I want to tell you guys all these cool stories. So Michael Jackson and I were talking, so we talk a lot, and we were actually just getting into an experience that we shared together in Lemuria. So Michael was there in Lemuria as well.
Cool.
Let's do like a general thing. And then, I don't know, it's 9:17. So we should go through and like make the people who are here now, and then we can decide after we get these guys done if we want to keep going, David?
Sure.
Does that sound like a plan?
Sounds good to me.
All right, so Arwen, let's see. Oh, good. I'm glad. So she says Lemuria has been coming up this year, so that's a confirmation for me. Yeah, definitely.
Cool.
Glad we were able to do that.
Yeah,
right.
If you feel yourself drawn to go to Sedona, do that. You definitely have a connection there. If you feel any draw to go to this place, a particular place, like they were saying in the webinar, then you have some connection there in a past life or future life and present life, whatever.
Well, like David and I were talking, and I was just kind of joking with him once, and I said, yeah, I absolutely love like Robin Hood and stuff. And everybody thinks those things are mythological or those didn't really happen, but if you're drawn to it, like there's something there, you know. Mm-hmm. So don't put those off, even when you think that it doesn't exist, because in our 3D world, we consider it mythology or whatever. So
yeah,
just
and
keep going with your hunches.
Just to extrapolate on what Temple was saying, if you're really attracted to something like a particular movie, pay attention to why. Pay attention to yourself and look at yourself inward. That's kind of what the Bible's all about, you know. I'm not religious, but that's what it's about. And it's looking inside towards yourself. And if you're really attracted to a particular movie, if you can use divination with a pendulum, you can say, am I this person? Am I this person? Am I this person? If that's like your goal, maybe you're just associated with that timeline, or maybe you have a life in a similar timeline.
Or you could have a fractal of a person. Okay, so I find this interesting with the questions that you had asked, because look at this, David. And with the mermaid. So I would look into Syrian for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the mermaids had actually come back for a while, but they left.
They left the planet, yeah.
They left the planet.
Due to pollution and things like that.
Yeah. Okay, so, and your number, so it's 118, so it would be 10. And then who Lightning said that their birthday is on the 11th.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're very 11, 11, 11. That's good numbers. So, okay. 118. All right. So yeah, so I would definitely check out Syrian for you. Oh, Elena says, when I got to Sedona, I cried so hard it felt like home.
Yep, that's because of past life remembering. Definitely.
All right, so this is Minticans are a soul group who originated on the planet in the constellation Orion. Oh, interesting. They were first star beings that traveled to Earth and believed to be part of the original Lightworkers. The Minticans' home planet is thought to have been a water world with water so pure that you could see through it for miles. For this reason, Minticans feel most at peace at home or when they are around crystal clear water. They're here to teach us the potential in everything and in all beings of light. Many have an odd longing for home and struggle with the feeling like they don't belong. It's thought that this is due to their original home planet no longer being in existence. If you pulled a card, it could mean that you are a Mintican or a longing for a sense of belonging, and the root chakra healing is necessary for you to feel secure and safe. Perhaps you feel this longing to find home without knowing where it is. Perhaps you've been moving around a lot and yearn for a place on Earth to call your own. If so, you're being called to connect with Mother Earth to create it for yourself now. So choose where you're feeling most at home and create it rather than waiting or feeling of belonging to come. That's pretty awesome. David, do you know about these people?
I was asking while you were reading the card.
What did they say?
And they said that they're Aquarian. And I'm like, what is that? And they said amphibious.
Okay. So and it's interesting to me that they originated on Orion, but it said that it's no longer, like, it's no longer there for them. So
and the mermaids come from Sirius A.
Yeah, mermaids, and that's why we said you should check out Sirius A. But like for me, I always, ever since I was little, I always looked up to Orion, and I kind of, it was more of like a home thing too, but I always also then kind of felt like, well, as a kid, we learned to recognize Orion and the Big Dipper, so maybe it's really nothing. But yet that feeling kind of came back, and I asked about it when I was talking with Ramses not too long ago, and he said that, like, in ancient Egyptian times, the Orions were on the planet along with the Anunnaki and so on and so forth. So that is part of the connection to the Orion. So check out Orion, and then check out Syrian, and then also this one told you too, like the other cards that get grounded. You need to get grounded. So that came up like a couple times. So I think that's really important. And David is really good with chakras. I'm not a chakra practitioner, but if you're looking to get your chakras, because it said something in here about your root chakra.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember what it said, but it said that there's a chakra block. So if you're looking to get help with that, I can put you in touch with David to do so.
Yep.
So,
we can do some, perhaps a distance session or something like that even. And we can do an education on that.
David, listen to this. I have a strong Elven connection. The Arwen name comes through. I was wondering that's kind of where I was thinking, the Arwen. It comes through that connection, but I can sense there's much more than Elven connection. Yeah.
Elven is an elemental connection, so you know. Elves have to do with cleaning pollution and things like that from the environment. So the elves, do you want to hear this, Temple? Do you guys want to hear us?
Yeah, I love all your information.
Okay, so the elves work in conjunction with fairies, and so elves are quite short, actually. They're like 4 feet or shorter. They're not like tall like Legolas. So they work 4 feet and lower, and 4 feet and above the fairies do. So if it has to do with pollution, they also they regulate portals. They regulate. They make sure that energetic fields are working properly, and stuff like that. So they're really cool and they're really relaxed race.
That's awesome. I didn't know that. So thank you for that. That's cool. Okay, so I have Krishna. She's still here. I think I'm pronouncing that right. If I'm pronouncing it wrong, I'm super sorry. And then Sky is after that. And then we have Ryan in there somewhere as well. So, okay. So yes, what is your question?
Mm-hmm.
I just have like random light language, just like. So Arwen says that grounding is something that she struggles with, and
Okay.
the root chakra, it's a thing. Like she struggles with that too. So
Okay, perfect.
some of that, and we can help you, or I can get you in touch with David if you want to get some work on it.
I'd like to comment just a little bit on that, if that's okay, Tim.
Oh yeah.
So the root chakra is associated with fears. It's also associated with the foundations of your life. So if you don't feel that you have stability with family, with money, with housing, clothing, and things like that, your basic fundamental needs, then you're going to have problems with the root chakra. So just something I wanted to add on to Darwin.
That's good information. Okay, so Krishna wants to know what her skills and talents, or what it, sorry, I don't know if you're male or female. I'm assuming you're a female. Wants to know what the my skills, and I keep calling you a her. I hope you're a her. What my skills and talents are. Okay. So
I'll have difficulty connecting with this because it's such a vague thing.
Okay.
It's such a vague question. So let's let the cards do the magic on this one.
Yeah, and this is where like having multiple decks of cards is so helpful, because you can pick a card for the specific question. Like, you know, one deck would not do well to answer this, but I think this Mayan deck might do a good job. That's really funny that Venom just joined, David, after we were just talking about that.
Oh, that's really funny, actually.
Yeah, you can, Venom, you can tell us something. All right, so Krishna, what are Krishna's skills and talents? So David, when I started this channel, this was the reason I started the channel. I wanted to start the channel for like brand new light workers, brand new starseeds who struggled just like I did, just like you have, and to really help them find their grounding and find their way, and let them know that it's okay to struggle, but that to just keep with it and keep learning, and keep working through it, and all will be well.
Cool. I like that.
Venom wants to know if I can. Oh, go ahead, David. Sorry.
I was going to say, I think it's great because they can get the information that they actually need. Because on a lot of communities that are too small or perhaps too closed, I'm going to say, because people don't talk to each other enough.
Right.
Or if you don't have a family support system that you can talk to, which is really common for a lot of sensitive people. Yeah, you can just ask us the questions and we can help you guys out. And then you don't have to be like, oh my God, I see this being, it's following me every day and I think it wants to hurt me, when it's really just a guide.
Right. That, very well put. Yeah. Okay, so Venom wants to know if we can give him our pancreases. I don't think you're going to want mine. I don't think you're going to want David's either.
I know a little bit of background to this information. So
yeah, go ahead.
Venom eats organs because he's a symbiote, and that's something that he really loves the taste of. So, no, definitely not.
Didn't you have a being like Venom come and hang out with you, and then you guys ate steak together or something?
I did. Yeah. If Venom was a serious person, I would tell him a really, really cool story. But he might just be a trickster. I don't know.
A trickster.
A little bit of a negative polarity person. We'll see.
Okay, here we go. So I don't know how to pronounce this, but we'll find out. 182 is your number. So let's add that together. 8, 9, 10, 11. Another 11. We're getting a lot of 11s. This is the card. I don't know if I can actually, I need to click on this so that you guys can see it. Okay, so this is the card right here. And again, this is a Mayan deck, so it's a little different. 82. And I also, David, like to add to that whole information thing. You're right. If they start like talking to me and giving me a bit more information about, they don't have to give me specifics, but if they're open to talking about the issue, I can get amazing information. But like, you know how some people, they like test, they want to test psychics, or so they don't want to give a lot of information.
Yeah.
I actually had a client like that, and it went fine. I got the information anyway, but I think for me, it is a lot easier when my clients are open with me to tell me about their experiences. They don't have to, like, I'm still gonna help them with what they need help with. I'm not trying to like guess. I don't guess at it. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
perfectly. From my experience, when someone just gives me a tiny bit of information, I can glean a little bit. I can glean surface stuff. You know what I mean? But if you tell me something like a legit question that you have, I can connect to your energy really strongly, and I can get a better picture of what's going on inside of you to see what needs to be healed. That's how I perceive it.
Okay, so I was looking for Krishna. She wants to know what are her skills and talents, or the skills and talents. This is so funny because this is actually talking about, so sometimes what happens is they need you to work on other stuff before you can, like, okay, so this is what Michael would tell me. Part of learning what your skills and talents are the adventure that you take in learning them, right?
Cool.
So that's not like my information. This is what Michael Jackson said. This is not my information to give you because that's your excitement. That's your adventure. And so, like, for example, this card is talking about Kimi is how you pronounce it. It's talking about surrendering and releasing, transmutation, forgiveness, humility, and revelation. So basically it's saying that you have all these amazing gifts, but that you have to, the reason that maybe they're not so like in the forefront right now is because you're going through this phase where you have to learn to surrender and release. So it may seem like a death, but really it's a rebirth as you transform it, transmute it, allow the forgiveness to happen, and then all of a sudden you have this revelation of, oh my goodness, these are what my skills and talents are. That was a lot of, but let me see if I can pull a different card, but that's what they're telling me right now. So it's not that I don't want to give you that information, but.
I thought you were reading a card. That's hilarious.
Huh? What?
I thought you were reading a card there. That's why it was so.
Oh, I was. That's the card that I got. That's the card they had for her. That's why she's. Wait, did I get that right?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think the most important thing to know. I want to say your name properly. Something.
I think it's Krishna, but I'm not sure. So.
The most important thing in your life, if you want to know what you're good at and what your talents are. Whatever makes you happy, whatever excites you, and whatever you feel passionate about, this is what you should be doing. That's how you know when you're on your life path. So that's something that's very...
Yeah, I would agree with that. Okay, we're going to give it one more shot. I have this brand new Shaman Oracle deck. We had pulled a few cards from it, but I haven't really used it much. So let's see if this offers any information. Otherwise, unfortunately, they're gonna make you go through the work before they give you the answer, which is kind of like welcome to my life. I feel like that a lot. Like I have to go through the work before I can get the answer. So let's just see, Krishna. Let's see what we can do for you. So what are her skills and talents? Or like if she needs something to start off, by like researching or just becoming familiar with what help can we give her. I was just told that she's empathic, but I think most of us are anyway, so I don't know if that's...
Everybody know.
You know?
Some people I know are just like clairvoyant, clairaudient, and maybe like clairsentient or something like that. But empathy is kind of like a healer trait.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. I think this is going to be really cool, but you might not be able to access this until you like do all that stuff that the other card told you need to do about like healing and that's like, so for everybody who's listening, that's what we're doing right now with the end of this year. We are learning to integrate and to transmute like all this stuff that's happening in our lives so we can, David, right? Our theme has been like rebirth.
Yeah.
So we can like, when we give birth into this brand new year, we're starting empowered and knowing, know thyself type of slate. So let me see.
There's a portal opening up December 21st, and that's causing a lot of emotions to come forward. So a lot of people will be more irritable and they'll be a lot more emotional until the 21st, and that's when it will start to change. So these things are coming to the surface so they can be released and integrated, or integrated and then released rather.
Okay.
Sorry.
So, no, this is good. This is very good. And also, this is funny that you just said that, because then I was thinking also we have the stretching of the timelines, which is also like messing with this whole thing. And when I asked what you... Oh no! So Arwen says when I don't offer information, it's not to test you. It's because she doesn't know how to go deeper with the question. No, I totally understand, and it wasn't directed at any of you at all. Okay. I promise. So Time Master. This is cool, and this could totally be why Krishna has to go through all the stuff she's got to go through before she can get this, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So a Time Master, Krishna, is one who can jump timelines, either forwards or backwards. You can stop time, because really here in our 3D world, we have made time, right, David? I mean, we decided, like in our 3D world, that we're going to have a clock and that's going to be time, and we're all these... but time doesn't really exist the way our 3D minds are programmed. And so I am a Time Master. And what this means is that I am able to jump timelines. I'm able to bring all my past timelines, which are actually current timelines, into my now. So it helps me in my work that I do with like historical apothecary stuff. And being a Time Master is really, really amazing. But you're going to have to, this isn't just something that will be unlocked. Like, you're going to have to go through some mountains, up and down some mountains of like learning who you are and remembering this all and working with this in order to really tap into it. And yeah, I don't know, David, do you have anything else to add to that?
I think you did a really good job on that.
Okay. All right. That's crazy. That's really cool, Krishna, that came up for you. That's not a card that I thought would actually be in that deck. Okay, who's next?
I think Ryan next, maybe.
Okay. Ryan is coming up. I had a... Okay. Okay,
There's
Sky is next.
Somewhere, I just can't see it.
Yep, Sky is next, and then Ryan. Okay, so, and then I think Dustin is next. I'm getting blurry. Elena says I'm getting blurry. Oh no. Oh no, I gotta put my feet on the ground. I actually have like my little grounding stone here. Okay, so Sky says, anything you see for a job opportunity coming for me locally, trying to find the right fit for me, but I know I have to be patient. I haven't gotten the feeling like this is it.
So you found a job, but it's just you're not really happy with it yet. You're not satisfied. Is that what's going on?
I think that's what he's saying. I think he also wants something local to him, and something that's a right fit for him. And he just so far hasn't had that feeling. So I think he's wondering if there's anything coming in the future. No? Okay, try it again. Well,
okay, Sky, the most important question is, are you doing what makes you happy?
He says he hasn't found a job yet.
I know, but what do you love? That's the question. That's what you need to know the answer to.
Sky is female.
That's okay. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't. We're all like it really. When you start understanding it, it doesn't matter, does it?
No, it doesn't matter. If you're doing what makes you happy, what excites you, if you just freaking love dancing, something in the dancing field. Maybe it's recording videos of how to do dancing techniques on YouTube. Maybe it's teaching a dancing class. Maybe it's just being a professional dancer for a musician or something.
So she has a degree in counseling. Is that something that you really want to do? Like you really want to, hey, Wendy, you want to find a job in counseling? Is that what you're really passionate about? So let me tell you guys about the new idea of what a job really is. So in the past, we were told that we had to go out and get a job and put in our time, and then we get married and we raise a family and blah, 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 and we work, right? That's all we do. And even if we hate our job, we have to work. But now it's totally different. So, okay, so Sky, if your passion is therapy with children, that's what you need to do.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you start out really slow. So like, for example, I was still working. I worked 2 jobs, and I had like a small sewing business on the side, because what I really wanted to do was like, before the apothecary came, I wanted to like sew for museums. And I did that on the side, and I became really well known in my field, and museums would actually contact me because I kept at it, just little steps. And then finally, when we changed over to the apothecary, which is another one of my passions, I was able to quit my jobs and like do this, but it's just little steps. And so I think that's why you probably haven't found something that fits you, is because you know what fits you, and it might not be out there. It might not be out there in the way you want it to be out there. So you have to forge that path.
You can't be afraid to make the next step, even though like sometimes you'll have like a glimpse in your memory of like, oh, I would really like to do that, but this is in my way. There's always the buts. And if there's so many buts, you got to remove those buts out of your way and just do it. You have to find a way to do it.
So she says, I got that all. I'm just like, where is it as far as the job? So I'm wondering, will I find it soon?
I can ask the pendle that.
Yeah.
Yes, you will.
Okay, there you go.
Depends on your definition of soon, I suppose, but.
And also the soul expansion card came out that said that your consciousness is expanding and you understand the connections between all things. And I think understanding those connections are going to help with your job. I know it's not like a specific that we can say yes, but we don't have any more specifics for you. So I apologize for that, but that's a really good start, right? I mean, I think so.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Next. All right.
Okay, so who's next? So that was Sky, and now it's I think it's Ryan. I think it's Ryan and Dustin. Did I get that right, you guys? Ryan and Dustin? You're welcome, Sky.
He said, what will happen when my third eye opens some time ago? So I'd like to address that.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, Ryan, your primary ability, I believe, is clairvoyance. You are like the seer in my eyes, and your abilities will manifest strongly when you really kick your third eye open. So for some people, like for me, when I opened my third eye for the first time, I was seeing blotches of colors here and there. I was seeing shadow figures. They didn't really have shape, but I felt, since I'm empathic, I believe you are as well. I felt how that being made me feel when it was around. And if it made me feel positive, then it was a light being. And if it made me feel negative and anxious and afraid, then it was a negative being. So it's important to know how to protect yourself when you open up your third eye. But what will you experience? You may perceive it differently than I have. You may receive visual movies. You might receive pictures, photographs, little animated movies, things like that. And depending on how developed your third eye is, you will see the beings more clear. So when you look in the sky at night, you can just let your eyes go out of focus, and you might see like a swirl in the sky, or you might see a little red blob, or these things are totally natural, naturally occurring on Earth. And it's totally normal to experience that kind of stuff when you're opening up your third eye, or if you have it already open, especially for clairvoyant. Temple, did you have anything to add to that?
I was looking at my picture and I am really blurry, which is really weird. Yeah, I shouldn't be. But I'm sure like everybody is chilling out right now, and so that takes up a lot of energy. Like Will always says that whenever I pop in, like there's always a party in this room. So I can see why that would happen. But so honestly, I wasn't paying attention.
That's all good. He said, how shall I join, Ryan?
Oh, I sent him the link if you wanted to join via Messenger. Yeah. So, okay, so Dustin, hey, buddy. What's your question? I haven't seen you in a long time. And Michael, how's Michael doing? I hope Michael's good. Dustin has a young boy, whose name is Michael, and he's hilarious. He's absolutely hilarious. And he's like really in tune with the energies and like he sees things, and he's just a great kid.
Nice.
Good. Glad to hear. Do you have a question at all? We can pull a card for you. He also speaks. Dustin speaks light language, and he's one of the very few that I've ever heard that speaks. What was it, Dustin? Arcturian?
Ah.
I think it's and he does it. He does it so beautifully too. I think it's Arcturian. I haven't like talked to Dustin in a long time, which is really sad.
Really cool. I'm not seeing a question pop up from Dustin.
No, do you have a question, Dustin? Oh, good. I'm glad. Tell Michael we say hi.
Is Michael Michael Jackson, or is Michael Archangel Michael?
No, Michael is Dustin's son.
Ah.
Yeah. So, but then when I asked Michael about Michael said that Michael Jackson said that he checks in on the little Michael a lot. So yeah.
So he's saying that I'm in a crossroad with finances.
Yeah. So. Let's see what we can pull with that. I know we kind of answered it. Like Heather got the card Mother Mary. No, Heather got the card, the Gaia card, which talked about Gaia being with you guys and like blessing you guys. And then the other card was an Indian guru who Oh man, my memory is my memory is so not
I
on
can't
it.
remember his name, but yeah, it was a
Yeah,
really wonderful card.
let's see what we get. So Dustin and finances. Now is a really hard time for so many people with finances because not only do they have normal stuff going on, but like holiday stuff.
Yeah, Christmas, it always puts extra pressure on relationships and also family.
Yeah. And, you know, for us, like light beings, starseeds, light workers, galactic humans, we never really understand the whole concept of money. It just seems kind of really stupid to us, right, to begin with. Okay. So you got Ik, I-K, which is 159, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, which is 6. 159. 159. So you're supposed to, so the qualities of this card, I'll show you guys this card.
Cool.
There we go. So I can see it. So the qualities of this card is pronounced Eek, E-E-K, are spirit, breath, wind, inspiration, truth, presence, integration of polarities, co-creator of reality, simplicity, unseen forces, integration, and focused intent. So I can totally see how those relate to the financial thing, but let's just have a read. So Eek is a galactic wind, the catalyzing current, the spirit that moves through all things. It is the divine breath that gives life to all creation, the unseen essence of solar energy. Eek is the breath of inspiration, the fertilizing force of the wind. It is essence, it is movement of spirit that penetrates into form to enliven, purify, and inspire. You are the form and conduit for this energy. Simply open to spirit and you will be vitalized by its sacred current. Receive the gift of Eek by simply taking a conscious breath. Amid the seeming complexity, breathe consciously. Allow your life to be more like the wind, free-flowing and open to spirit. I mean, it's easy to say, but it's hard. Like when you're really facing financial difficulties, it's hard in the human 3D sense to breathe and to just be like we always talk about the river, right? Just like flow down the river, get in the middle of the river because that's where the least resistance is, and flow down the river because everything is meant to be. So Eek represents spontaneity and simplicity. As you experience the truth of the present moment, Eek leaves you free to move on to the next moment without the baggage of desire, regret, or expectation. Eek is the simple knowledge that the invisible forces are always moving in your life, guiding and inspiring. Eek also embodies the concepts of presence. Presence is an expression of beingness, a creator of intimacy. It has to do with being wise in your simplicity. From simple beingness, your true identity emerges. Presence is being open, aware, and in the now. Presence is being there for whatever is. Think back to a time when someone looked deeply into your eyes, acknowledging your beingness with full presence. Remember how wonderful and intimate that felt. When you want to be intimate with someone, become equally open, aware, and present. When you bring your awareness into the present moment, everything else falls away. When you are fully present, your mind is not preparing responses to what it is hearing while you are listening and feeling. Drop your evaluating and your reactive nature. Trust that your heart will have the appropriate response when the time comes. Allow your mind to quietly be responsive, like a pool of water, natural in its unconditional acceptance of the moment. Presence is simple. It's like being caught in the moment by the beauty of nature. Presence is your natural state of being. When you are present, your heart feels open, charged, and full. Another gift offered through Eek is the integration of polarities within you. Polarity is a loom in which your reality is strung. The magnetic dance of the universe forces playing in the grand cooperation. Polarity is also an important alchemical process used in the transmutation of form and matter. We are now poised at a time when duality is transforming into unity. The polarities held in the relationships, our male and female aspects, even the manifestation of karma are all changing. We are moving into a time when polar aspects of all things are coming together in unity. You are a creative field for the integration of the larger pattern of polarity. All potentials and all relationships are moving towards trust, openness, and unconditional acceptance. So, long story short, oh, look, you can show this? I'm not sure what that just did. Um,
Uh,
so basically what it's telling you, just like the same cards that that Heather got, was that this is a time where you need to trust and let things flow, and that you are being taken care of, even if it seems you aren't, and to simplify things as much as possible. And I know this is like really, I know like in the human world, you're like, but how does this actually, this doesn't really help me. You know what I mean? Because like, it's not telling me how to fix it. It's not telling me how to like not worry about it. But it kind of is. Like, that's the thing we as humans are constantly working on, is trusting ourselves, trusting that the universe has our back, and just learning to flow with things. So
totally. I'd like to add to that.
yes.
So when you were talking about that, my guides were saying expectation is really something that's coming up. And I think it's important to talk about expectation, because with expectation, we have something that we're striving for, and something that if we don't achieve our expectation, that we get disappointed in ourselves or others. And expectations are really bad things to have, because they're like how you think something should go. But in truth, you should just let go of it and go with the flow.
Yeah, totally.
And also, you attract what you fear. And if you're looking at all these bills on your fridge and you're like, oh my God, how am I going to pay this bill? How am I going to pay this bill? When you're worried about those bills, you're just going to see bills coming. So do whatever you can to not think about bills. Just pay them if you can. And if you can't, just say, oh, put it at the side of the fridge, not like right in front of my face. You know?
Yeah, totally. I mean, there's a lot, like just on a human level, there's a lot for us to take in and integrate and learn. And this is kind of how we run our business, actually, which is very different from like a model. We really try to just go with the flow of things. Like if I'm having a bad day or a low energy day, I don't make any product, because it's so important to have good energy and good intentions, and light language for beneficial means of like helping and integrating and stuff, that like if I'm not feeling it, I just don't do it. But I've learned to not worry, that like if we're sold out of something that I need to get back on the shelves, it'll all work out. And the more I worry about it, it just creates a lot more pressure that is really not necessary in the end. So it's a process, and it takes baby steps. But yeah. So Alicia, I don't know if it's Alicia or an Alicia. You are next. And then we have Wendy, and I think that's it, David.
I think so.
And then we'll probably close it out after this. So Wendy wants a card pulled for her husband, and I'm not sure if Alicia is still on or not. Here we go. So Alicia says, how does Nahal, I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong, feel about me romantically? All right. This is where it's beneficial to have a romance deck. So how does, it could be Nihal, feel about her romantically? All right. Let me know, David, if you get anything with your pendulum. Yep. He likes to flirt with you, apparently. Or he's open to flirting. I don't know if you guys have like done that whole process of flirting. Let's see. So does he...
Hey, Earth Angel.
Enjoy the bliss of the holiday time together? I mean, so I actually, from these cards, it looks like that there would be good promise of wonderful things happening. What did you get, David?
I think the most important thing is to take it lightheartedly and allow that relationship to complement your life. Don't look for something that's missing in your life to be fulfilled from this relationship. Just find something that complements you really nicely and makes you happy.
That's really well said, because that's exactly what this card says. Enjoy the bliss of holiday time together. So just don't rush into it. Just enjoy your time together. He obviously is open to flirting with you, and so yeah, so it's a good thing. As long as you're not what's the word I'm looking for? Putting a specific intention of this is what it has to be, I think you guys will be fine. Yep, and I think you guys can have a really wonderful relationship with lots of flirting, and who knows what's going to happen next.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We understand, Rai.
So, okay, Lancelot of Camelot is David. So I think you guys can click on that and be taken to his channel. And so you guys can subscribe to him. And then we wanted to pull a card for Wendy. And then Earth Angel. And then we're going to cut it off for today, okay? So Wendy would like a card. Are you still there, darling dear? Where did it go? Oh, Wendy. I'm like scrolling up through the stuff here.
Yeah, I'm just looking at it myself as well.
Namaste, Heather. We all need to get together again and have a little chat. Why can I not? Okay, can you pull a card for my hubby's 60th birthday? Yes, we can do that. What kind of card do we want to pull? It's kind of funny, Wendy. I don't have like a birthday deck card. Oh, you know what though? We could pull the crystal card. The crystal card deck. I think that would probably work.
What was the question?
To just pull a card for Wendy's husband's 60th birthday.
Oh, okay.
And then did you see Arwen's comments to you, David?
Yes, I did.
Awesome.
Yes. Thank you, Arwen, for the confirmation. That's good. I felt that.
Okay, Wendy. So this is what popped out. So you'll see what I'm doing here. So this is Ukanite.
Cool.
And answered prayers. All his great work has opened up doors for divine solutions and support. So I think that's really cool. I think it's a good card for Chuck.
I'm getting a little bit of a message. Can I say it before you read it?
Yeah, yeah.
So I think Chuck is at a point in his life, now that he's turning 60, that he is finally able to get this passive income. You know, he's going to start getting pension. He's going to start transitioning into a new stage of his life, where not only is he going to have financial help, but he's also going to go through changes that come along with the age of 60. Because when he says he's 60 and people are like, oh, would you like your seniors discount? This is going to start to add up in his mentality, and he's going to start to accept the fact that he's aging. He's going to start accepting that he can't work as hard as he used to work. And he's going to start accepting that, hey, I got to start thinking about legacy. I have to start thinking about grandchildren if that's the case as well. You know what I mean? So 60, I think, is a big year for people as a transitory year to shift into the next stage of development in the human life.
Cool. Very cool. Okay. So green, and then there's like the fire. And I'm just going to read it. I'm just going to read it the way it is. You've been doing great work recently. You've been doing great work recently to forgive, release, and focus upon positivity and oneness. Because God respects your free will choices by choosing the healing path of love, you have opened the doorway for your prayers to be answered. God hears and answers all prayers and does not discriminate. However, if we shut down our hearts to God's connection, we may not hear the whispered answers. A negative focus also casts doubt upon the likelihood of divinely guided plans, working, lessening our faith. This card is a sign that you have shifted to a conscious connection with God's pure healing love. You are praying with sincerity and willingness to be guided and helped. This positive shift within you is an answer to your own prayers for peace and happiness. The external circumstances will now shift accordingly as they are uplifted to the highest and best outcome. And then about the stone. The euconite is actually a naturally bonded compilation of 3 different gemstones: feldspar, epidote, and quartz, which results in a lovely peach green coloring. Euconite, with its soft, gentle energy, is supportive of the physical and emotional healing, offering a reminder that we are all one with God's divine love.
Beautiful.
That's
And
awesome.
I am getting something for travel, and I'm hearing Argentina. So,
Really? Is Chuck going to Argentina? If he's going to Argentina, I need to have a rock or something brought back, Wendy.
I don't know. I just hear Argentina. I'm
That's
not quite sure why.
cool. That's cool. All right. And
That
then
just happened, you said?
what?
She just said that just happened.
That's awesome.
Cool.
All right. So Earth Angel is the last one. And Earth Angel says, I want a reading about Jean and I. All right, so Jean and I. All right, well, I don't know, like that's so general. Let's see what we can.
What was the question again, Temple?
Okay, let's see. What just happened? Somebody just
Earth Angel. Oh, I want a reading about Jean and I.
Yeah. Oh, there it is. Okay. All right. So I don't know if I don't know. I probably should know who you are, Earth Angel, but I apologize. So Jean and I. So I'm gonna do the romantic deck, the romance cards, just because I have no idea. But Wendy says thank you. You're very welcome, darling. Okay, so Earth Angel's question, we're getting there. My mind is I want a reading about Jean and I. So something just flipped over. Romantically, okay. That's what I thought I was getting, but I'm still learning. I still doubt myself occasionally, and it's a human thing. Right? All right.
Oh, no.
Oh my gosh, cards are flying everywhere. Just 1 second. All right, Jean, Earth Angel, and Jean. All right, so are you having any sort of doubts or questions or maybe situations that maybe aren't the most romantic currently? Is that what's going on? Is this a relatively new relationship? Next time we do this, David, we need to have some sort of music in the background.
Yeah. Do 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 do.
Yes, that's awesome.
We're talking, but I wonder how it will go. Okay, so you're in the initial dating phases then.
Like the outcome. All right. So I'm gonna pull one more card because there was a card that jumped out, and I didn't like that card, so I put it back.
Twisting fate.
Right? Because if anybody's going to find a way to work around free will, it's going to be me. All right, so let me just see, because I think the outcome is what that card was. But
sometimes relationships don't always work, and it's for a good reason.
All right, so what is the outcome of this relationship for Earth Angel and Jean? What is this outcome? Okay. All right. Well, they're being very nice right now. So we have quite a few cards. The first one is let your friends help you. So ask for and accept support from others. So if you're having a hard time kind of reaching out about the situation, you should. Because you have to have someone else to talk to. Like, trust me, I've been there where like you have problems in the relationship and you're not really sure who you can talk to about them. It makes it extra hard. So definitely reach out and talk to your friends about it, or find someone to talk about it with, because you need to be able to like bounce ideas off each other, or even just have someone else listen to what you're going through. Also, we have this. Oh, hang on. That was really loud. That's like the loudest. That's the loudest one I've had in a long time.
I bet your ears popped there for a second.
No, I gotta. Actually, they're very clear. You know how they had like liquid, or they had water in them, or whatever, for a long time. They've been really clear for a couple days now, and they just had this huge, like, really, really loud, high-pitched tone in them. And to me, whenever I get that high-pitched tone, it's always like a briefing or like a download coming in.
Yep.
And I like messed up my whole year. Okay. Sorry guys. Like, their time is now and my time is not now. Their time is now. Okay. So let your friends help you. And then also, I think one of the reasons you're having problems in the relationship currently are because you need to love yourself first.
That goes back to what I was talking about, right?
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. There's been like a theme. There's kind of been like an underlying theme going on. Oh, Dustin got the same earring that I got.
Oh, that's
awesome. And so I'm not sure, like, if you're having self-doubt in yourself, possibly, but this card is saying that you need to work on you first. You are most important. You need to work on you first. And then this card is talking about getting to know each other. So I think that you guys are still going to be able to like work things out, talk things over, and as long as, here's the thing, as long as you are actually actively working on yourself, I think things will be okay. But he's got to work on himself too. So you both work on yourself, and then it works. Otherwise, and you have to keep an open mind too while you're doing this. So there's a lot. Like, it's not a simple what will the outcome be, because that's the future. So right now, this is what's going on right now. And if you guys, if you can figure out what is going on with you, if you can figure out what's going on with you and work on that, and not press the issue with him as far as like a relationship. Like, I'm not sure if there was a relationship already started, or if you guys were just getting to know each other, if that's what that card means. But regardless, you need to just kind of take it easy and continue getting to know each other, and not rushing.
Don't rush into the sex part of the relationship. If you're already there, then that's fine. But like, make sure you take the time to get to know each other as a romantic couple first. Become friends, you know. That's so important in relationships, and people skip that. They go to the sex and, hey, can you share an apartment with me? Because it's easier on rent, you know. And sometimes people that just have that, they have kids and their life takes a certain path. So it's important that you find that relationship with a friend first before you build upon that.
And she says no rush at all on my end, and I think that's the best thing, because it looks like here, as long as both of you aren't in a rush, it looks good. Now the only thing that came up too is that your soulmate may differ from what your typical expectations are. So that's kind of like, whenever I get this card, I think of the whole Marilyn Monroe thing. Like in her movies, she's so beautiful, you think that she would like go for like the really macho guys, but she doesn't. Like she goes for like the really dorky guys. So it's not always what you think is your best outcome is what the divine plan is for you. So he's my best friend. Oh, let me tell you about best friends and relationships there. Okay, I think we're going to, you need to like clean up your language, godly toaster, because otherwise I'm just gonna ban you, because like that's really not necessary. So yeah, that's good. Be best friends and just see where it takes you. And as long as you guys can openly, like that was the problem, right? Like my best friend and I, we couldn't openly talk about what was going on. So if you can openly talk about it, things will be okay. If not, things aren't going to work. So
yeah, open communication is so important in relationships. And if your thing is that you're afraid to lose the friendship, because he's been in your life for a long time and he's never just made that move because he didn't want to wreck the friendship also. That's something that you have to consider, because a leap not taken is a leap that you may regret later in your life. And if you have genuine feelings for this person, then just go with the flow. It's the best thing you can do.
Yep, that's the thing. Like the least resistance is in the middle of the river, not on one side or the other. It's in the middle.
Yep.
And I think that David's advice is really good, because I think about that too. Like with my twin relationships and stuff, more things should have been said that were never said, and that can be later in life. That can be really tough to like deal with. So, okay. I think this has been really good. You guys have been really awesome. Thanks for stopping in. And should we close, David, with some light language blessings?
Sure. I can go first.
Yeah, please.
All right. I'm going to help you guys I'm going to set the intention that the light language is focused on helping those that are having difficulties or questions in relationships. And this energy will help them to solidify their thoughts. Brashunda hashute, anna shahute, bashahute nasi, nagoe anda anduashanda, bragundeo ashne hahute, nagoe nahua, shagavenas, ejuanda, nagoe. Brakana shave azana haratak ashunda badnas eshulea nagawe unda handu shneahute bragana shute anash anasavea eshunde nagawe shundua na huseta brashua ewa jegonayovina Ushunde. There's more. Sorry, just 1 sec.
No, go ahead.
Eliwia Ejowaka Anasaute Avi Akuna Yas Ejunga Nayoe Ashu Esuandi Esaia E Nalye. So I'm getting the gist is follow your highest intentions. And when these intentions align with your dreams, then this is when you know that you're in alignment with yourself. Follow your passion, follow your excitement, follow your dreams. These will lead you to your greatest happiness in life relationships bind you together temporarily, though you are always bound together spiritually. These people are but blips in your life, but will leave lasting impressions on your soul. Remember these people, remember these moments and these memories in this time, and they will be blessings to you in the future as you look back on them.
That was beautiful. Very true. Very, very true. Thank you so much.
No problem.
Okay. I started thinking about like me trying to roll my R's. It's not going to work. Okay. All right. So I'm going to do light language, but so my blessing for you guys today is that that your hearts remain full and that you take the time needed to see the spark of light within your own self, within your own soul, to see how beautiful and how bright you guys actually shine. And if you're dealing with relationship issues or financial issues or questions, that we open up some guidance between you and your teams, whether it comes in dreams or signs that you notice, like little feathers on your cart, that you feel that you are never alone, because you never are. So that is my intention for you guys. Let's get a light language out there for you. Nushutu boasha kuala hanasu tiata kuapujuna tiata tiasaka alu unu tu kushiaya na tia sukuno totayako polo ono ti si jashuwa hua mania si tuo shukubula shiata sina mututu kwa shiatania sai udia saya na hikiali dunia la wujinana guashubua hati kwa hana Itia pushiti si kanana sitia ta kuanana dai kushitia lepoa ana tu kuasiata hana te kwa inumiata sa kupishitila hana sukua shiatina tia puania te kalina te tua kashiati masia tu hono supiata bushina tiana sikiana tiata itia pasha Buuludu na shatana isiatamoshu kupushianasi dulahana kona mosiata atianasi. Namaste.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you, and thank you guys for joining us. And until next time, we say blessings. Have a great night, you guys. We'll get you hooked up with Dave's YouTube page, and we'll do this again some other time.
Yes. So, Alicia, how can people reach you if they want to get a hold of your website and your Etsy and all of these things?
Oh, my stuff? Let's talk about your stuff instead.
Okay. So if you I'll jump in then if you want to do that. If you want to get a hold of me, you can look up Camelot Healing. I have a group on Facebook. I'm a healer, or I entice healing in other people, I should say. And I can help you with chakra problems, entity removal, implant stuff, negative attachments, positive attachments, things like that. Help you talk with your guides and help you awaken yourself and heal. So if you're interested in that, check out Camelot Healing on Facebook. And if you want to check out my YouTube channel, which only has 2 videos, but it would really help if you checked it out and liked and subscribed to my channel. My name is Lancelot of Camelot, if you want to check me out on YouTube.
Yeah, and we'll get you guys the links here after the video posts. I'll get David's links and post them for you. If you're interested in our historical apothecary stuff with light language activations in it, you can go to www.lebits.etsy.com. If you just type in LBCC Historical in Google, that will bring it up too. So we are everywhere. So just LBCC Historical in Google, and you guys will find us. It's kind of cool to have historical apothecary products that are good for you, organic, carry light codes, carry information about history, all sorts of cool stuff. So, and with that, we are going to say namaste. Good night. Blessings. Much
Good night,
love.
everyone.